Unless? There's always an unless. 60% of the time, there's always an unless. What do we got this time? Whoa, blue Goku, blue Vegeta, and Frieza. Interesting. All right, on our side, we got more of the Roshi arc. Man, Roshi arc's been going on for a little while. I feel like this is one of the longest arcs I've ever had on a character of, like, you know, actually trying to learn them. I mean, but it makes sense, because Roshi's really hard. Like, really hard. I feel like I've made pretty decent progress with him, though. Just a really difficult character to get down. But he's fun, though. That's why I keep coming back to him. It's just like his unique movement. His movement is just so unique and just so fun. It's just fun to do his movement options. Speaking of which, Pebble got me. The lone Pebble. Okay. Just Roshi things, I guess. My man swung in the opposite direction. I'm gonna cash out on this because Blue Vegeta is he's just so insanely powerful as a character that whenever you can do damage to him, I feel like you should just do as much damage as you possibly can, because, like, character is just so, like, he's just so insanely dangerous. Speaking of dangerous, though, Anchor Frieza, pretty dangerous. Bro, I can't move. Level 3. Got to be careful here not to get hit by the golden. Ooh, I baited it, but I wasn't blocking high. I was standing up. I'm sorry, I can't hit confirm with Roshi that well yet. I'm pretty safe here. I'm pretty safe here. He can't really do anything to me. You're never safe from Wake Up Mash, though. Blasted. That angle's really good against Frieza. But man, we're really in it though, huh? We're really in the age of the tag fighter. And I mean, I gotta say, it's all because of DBFZ. Like, I know Marvel laid the groundwork for sure, but DBFZ definitely repopularized it. I feel like it's undeniable when you look at the Invincible game and the fact that they have the DBFZ character transition. When I see that, I'm just like, wow, like DBFZ really was a massive influence. It's crazy. And it all came from Marvel, you know, originally. That's why it's all so crazy. It's hilarious too. Like, you always have to remember that when you say something on the internet, you have to use like absolute clarification, because not everybody understands like context clues, you know? Because on my on my video where I'm, you know, just talking about the new Marvel game, when, you know, I'm really excited, you know, I talk about, like in the thumbnail of the video, I'm like, you know, it's the new DBFZ. And like in the video, I said the same thing, how this is like the new DBFZ. And some dude was like, are you really implying that DBZ inspired Marvel vs. Capcom? And I'm just like, brother. Like, as if I don't know, or that it's some sort of secret that DBFZ, that this game is just Marvel vs. Capcom 3. You know, like, who doesn't know that? Like, bro, like, no, that's not what I'm saying. Oh, I call the new Marvel game the new DBFZ. I can't believe I even have to explain this, but I say that because, I mean, I know you guys know. I know you guys know. But, like, I'm just saying because it's a massive IP turned into a tag fighting game by Arc System Works. You know? Those three things are happening again. And thing number 4, the whole world is excited about it. That's why I compare it so much to DBFZ, because it just feels like it's DBFZ all over again. Because when DBFZ was coming out, it blew everybody away, and those boxes were all checked. You know, one of the world's biggest IPs, Arc System Works, Tag Fighter. You know, I can't believe I even have to explain this. Again, I know you guys know, but I'm just saying, like, I just can't believe somebody tried to call me out for saying that. It's like, oh my goodness. But that random guy aside, I'm still just so, like, I try not to talk about it too much in every video because I don't want you guys to be like, oh, brother, this guy's still talking about that Marvel game. But, bro, it's exciting. I also made a video about the Invincible game and my thoughts and, you know, feelings about it. So you guys pretty much already know how I feel about that game. But yeah, I'm really excited for that, dude. Because, like, some people, I know, like, a lot of people are still new to fighting games that, like, you know, because it's funny, like, I've been around so long, like, you know, I've been around forever, but I've been around, like, during multiple points in fighting game history, and it's just funny because if you weren't around when Street Fighter 4 came out, it brought fighting games back, because fighting games were dead for like a long time. They're pretty much dead in the sense that their numbers went way down in terms of like tournament participation, and just general interest in them went down. I was still playing them, but, you know, in the early 2000s, most people didn't really care about fighting games, especially not like casual players. But when Street Fighter 4 came out, it basically put fighting games back on the map, because that game, I didn't do that, was so insanely popular and so insanely well received. I think to this day, that was one of, I'd have to check the numbers. Somebody could probably check it in the comments for me. But I know it was up there for most pirated game of that era. Street Fighter 4, I believe, is one of the most pirated games, period, of that whole era, which is insane. And side note, if you ever wondered why all fighting games now make you log in, you know, like DBFZ, you gotta log in, Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 6, Grand Blue, everything, it's because of that. Because Street Fighter 4, everybody was pirating it so they could just get it for free and, like, play with their friends and stuff. So to combat that, you know, fighting games now make you log into a server so that, you know, you have to buy the game if you want to play online. But anyway, to get to my point, when that happened, that happened in 2009, where fighting games were reborn and they came back and they became super popular. And most people that you know of now, well, not most, but a lot of people that you know of now as content creators all got their start at that point. And they started calling people 09ers. Like, if you were new to a fighting game and like Street Fighter 4 was your first fighting game, you were an 09er. So it's like, I feel like that happened again with DBFZ, like, because when DBFZ came out in 2018, fighting games in general had a big spike again, and a lot of people got into fighting games that just were never interested before, and it you know, created like a whole new era, you know. So it was like the 18ers. Nobody called it that, but you know, I'm just kind of joking around. But like, if you weren't around before DBFZ, you didn't get to play Killer Instinct. And the people who are making Invincible, man, that keeps hitting. People that are making Invincible made Killer Instinct 2012, and that game is still like one of the best and like most influential fighting games ever. That's why I have like total faith in that game. Like, I couldn't have more faith in Invincible, because the KI devs, bro, I mean, they're legends. Like, my chat put it the best way when we were talking about it, like my Twitch chat. The KI devs, they didn't just cook, they made the recipe. They literally made the recipe, because KI is what came up with the seasonal model of fighting games having seasons. They did that. They were the first ones. They made seasons. They made a free-to-play fighting game first. They were the first ones with like the rollback that we have now, the fully functioning rollback. Back then, people still called rollback GGPO, you know? That's what they would call it. They called it GGPO back then. That's how early it was. Bro, Killer Instinct had, not only was it free to play, but it has where you could buy individual characters, and if you don't own a character, you can still train against them in training mode. We still don't have that in most games, if any game. Let me know in the comments if any other game even has that besides Killer Instinct, you know? So they came up with so many things that we take for granted now. In 2012, dude, I'm saying all this was in 2012 that they had already made basically a perfect fighting game. And fellas didn't catch up till like 2020, you know, 2021. Oh my goodness. So yeah, all of that is to say, to end my whole yapping speech, I trust the KI devs. I know that IP is in good hands, because man, those fellas know what they're doing. I chickened out at the end. I'm a chicken. I'm a coward. I'm sorry, I feel ashamed. I should have went for the full route, but I chickened out. I was like, but what if it drops though? What if it drops? That was bad. Unless? There's always an unless. 60% of the time, there's always an unless. What are you gonna do, buddy? That was insane. But yeah, to continue my, I mean, I come this far, I may as well keep yapping. This will just be a yap video. There's also another thing that I've been very interested in, like because of Invincible and 2XKO and Hunter x Hunter all being confirmed to not have motion inputs, it's brought up a really interesting debate in the fighting game space. And let me know in the comments what you guys think, because I was thinking about making a video about this, and just the whole debate on like what do you think about that? Because it's a huge debate. I don't know if you guys have been looking around like FGC Twitter, but yeah, it's a huge debate on like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because a whole bunch of fighting games are coming out now that are just not gonna have inputs, period. It's just gonna be special move button only. And yeah, some people are really mad about that. Like, they're saying basically like that'll kill fighting games over time. Some people seem to be okay with it. honestly, I don't know where I fall on that because it's so complicated. It's such a complicated topic. I don't really know. Like, my opinion is, I mean, obviously I'm very old school when it comes to fighting games. So my opinion is that fighting games should have inputs. In my personal opinion, it's just more fun when they have it. And I feel like if you add up all the pros and cons, there's more cons to the special move button than there are pros. Because the biggest one, in my opinion, is that it overcomplicates the game. To me, like take 2XKO for example, and even Hunter x Hunter, 2XKO and Hunter x Hunter, both of those games are just like this game. You know, 3v3, well not 3v3, but they're tag games where you don't do inputs, but you have a special move button. When I was playing with 2XKO beta, to me, the special move button felt more confusing than if I could have just pressed 236 something. But instead of doing 236 something, I'm doing like LLMM R1, you know, and then forward LL R2, you know, because that had 2 special move buttons. So it's like in that game, and you guys know me, I've been playing fighting games my whole life. That was crazy. But I was getting confused. Because it's like, damn, okay, special move button 1, special move button 2, you know, it's like, I don't know. To me, that's more complicated. You're telling somebody, hey, every time you want to do a special move, press this whole extra button. To me, it's just easier to be like, you know, down, forward, L. But I don't know, maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me, maybe because I've just been playing fighting games so long. Some of you guys might disagree. I'd love to hear what you guys think about that. Explosion. Because another thing, like another point I want to bring up is the fact that sorry, there's a blue Goku on my block. Another thing I wanted to bring up is, to me, it's slightly contradictory too. The special move button. There's a certain point where I don't really get it, because most of the ones that are coming out are in tag games, right? So I don't really understand the idea that someone's gonna get on a fighting game and be afraid of inputs, but they're willing to learn a tag fighter. Like they're gonna learn 3 characters, 2 assists, how to combo into assists, how to block string into assists. You see where I'm coming from? Like they're gonna learn all this complicated stuff, but down forward light attack, that's too much. You know what I mean? I don't really get that. Like if you look at 2XKO combos, like look at like Echo combos. They're long as hell. You know, like a combo from Echo, it's long as all hell. So it's like, whoa, what just happened? We can't hit each other. But yeah, I don't know if I'm just rambling because I'm in the middle of a match or if I'm making any sense, but yeah, it's complicated. The real bottom line though for me is that I don't believe that inputs are an actual problem or like any sort of a barrier. I just don't believe that I don't believe that if you take away inputs, people are just magically gonna start playing fighting games. Like people that don't give a damn about fighting games are just gonna start playing them. I don't believe that. I think that if you just make a good game that is fun, people will play it. That's all you gotta do. And I feel like that point has been proven many times. This game kind of proves that, because this game has inputs, and this game has a million things going on. Like this is a very hectic, this game is way more hectic than something like, you know, Street Fighter, where you just, you know, it's 1v1 and you're just fighting another person. You know, there's a billion things happening in this game, and a lot of stuff you gotta learn and like optimize, and like the combos are long and crazy and drawn out, and I just dropped mine. But like this game sold 1 billion copies and people love it. And I've never really heard anyone complain about the inputs because this game has very simple inputs. It's just 2-3-6s, 2-3-6, 2-1-4. I can see how some people can be, you know, I just see some people getting turned away by like DP inputs and pretzel inputs and half circles and stuff like that. But regular 2-3-6, I feel like anybody can do a 2-3-6. Like, and again, I don't even believe that's the problem. Like, you can't escape from the irrefutable fact that fighting games are hard and they take time to learn and they're just an investment, you know? That's why people don't play fighting games. Because a fighting game is like a promise. It's like you get on it, and if you like the game, it's like, okay, eventually you'll be good, but you're gonna have to lose a lot. You're gonna have to lose over and over, but eventually you'll win, you know? Not right now, but later. And to me, that's why fighting games are not as popular as something like a shooter. Because in a shooter, you know, it's just a lot easier to pick up and just start playing it. And then in something, in a battle royale type game like a Fortnite or, you know, whatever, if you lose, it doesn't even seem like it really matters because you're in another match in 0.2 seconds. So, you know what I mean? Even that feeling of an investment is not that crazy because you're just like, I lost, oh, okay, I queued back up, I'm back in again. Like, I wish there was a way to translate that to fighting games. You know what game I think comes the closest to that is Guilty Gear Strive. As terrible as the tower system is, it doesn't... Well, hold on, I need to choose my words very carefully here. It doesn't really stop the speedy nature of that game, because like in Strive, if you lose, the match is so short and you get into the next match so quickly that most times you don't even really care. It's just like, okay, whatever, next match. So if anything, I feel like Strive is the closest to that. When Strive actually gets that matchmaker, that game might become insanely powerful. Like if the matchmaker in that game is really snappy and it works well, Strive might become insanely powerful because it has the potential to have that Fortnite effect of like, oh, I lost. Oh, okay, it doesn't really matter. I'm in another game already, you know? Because DBFZ absolutely does not have that. Does not have that. DBFZ, first of all, the matches are like, each match is like 10 minutes. So by the time you get to the end, you know, if you lose, you're just like, damn, you know, it took me like so long just to get to the end of that match. And then with the way the game is now, it's like, you know, in its twilight years, it does take a while to get into the next game. So you do kind of sit around for a while waiting. I feel like if fighting games could find a way to alleviate that, all the waiting, I think things would be better. That's probably why Street Fighter 6 is so popular. You know, Street Fighter 6 is the #1 fighting game, and it does kind of have that Fortnite effect to it where if you do not get out of the matchmaker, you're going to get matches back to back to back to back to back. Like, it'll never stop. But, yeah. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Like, what do you guys think fighting games need to do to take that extra step and get more people, like, invested in them? I just think they need to be good. Like, this game, I think, is proof. This game is good. It's good to, you know, it's nice to look at. It's fun to play. It's got characters that people like. So it's successful. Smash Ultimate, same thing. It's got characters that people really like. People play it. A lot of people play it. I think that's really all you need. It's just a game that's fun to play and has characters that people like, and people will put up with anything, you know? People put up with Smash Online. If that doesn't prove my point, I don't know what will. But yeah, that's gonna do it for my yap session. I appreciate you guys listening. We'll definitely be back with some more Roshi action soon. Until then, you guys have a good one, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.